We're psyched about the big stage because we are so used to being all over each other in small clubs, tiny little stages that are about the size of, I don't know, about the 10th of this stage. So we're excited about it.
And I think the crowd's really excited for you and wish you the best of luck tonight. Have a lot of fun.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
All right.
Cool.
It is going to be cool. Woodstock 94 is very cool. We've got more of MTV's live coverage of this cool event. Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you.
From the network that brought you.
Welcome back to Woodstock 94. I'm Bill Bellamy. I'm having a good time here. I'm telling you, I just walked through the crowd. Hey, Rick, are you with me?
Still here, Bill.
Rick, you're not going to believe this. I was just walking through the crowd, and two very beautiful young ladies just dropped their pants and moved me. It's been happening like every 15 feet. Has this happened to you up there, man?
No, Bill. Only person, the cameraman jumped his pants once, but that was purely on accident. I think that's why they have you down there, and I have been up here basically for the entire show.
Oh, man, you got to come down here. It's like booty everywhere.
I'm trying to. But it seems like everybody down there, I mean, there haven't really been any problems at all. Have you seen any?
Oh, man, I don't know. I have no idea, man. Matter of fact, there's so much noise down here, I could barely hear you.
Yeah, it seems like from up here, everybody down there seems to be having a really good time, and we're going to hook up with Bill a little bit later, but right now we're going to go back to the countdown. Coming in at number 3, here is Stone Temple Pilots. Been talking to seems to be from New York and New Jersey or Connecticut, but I'm telling you, I see flags amongst the crowd from all over the world. Over there I saw a German flag, saw tons of Canadian flags, all over America too. Walking around, we saw some people from San Diego, from Texas. People from all over the world have come down to Woodstock for this historic event. And as Tabitha's been saying, we've all been telling you, you got to get the pay-per-view if you're still at home watching this thing. And if you're in the New York area, there's still buses going every hour. I don't know where they're going to fit these people, but you might still be able to get in. I don't know. Anyways, right now we're going to go talk to Allison, who is backstage.
I have been anything but lonely back here. We are just a stone's throw from the Artist Complex, and I've been talking to Candlebox, Collective Soul, Sheryl Crow, and it's really fun to see these guys hanging out with each other, actually. Live and Collective Soul have been trading guitar picks, and Sheryl Crow, well, she's just sort of like wandering around just saying, hey, to everybody, you should stick around because we, of course, are going to have more interviews. All those artists are going to be performing later on live tonight, and MTV's live coverage of Woodstock 94 is going to be there, and you should too.
Playgirl, playmate of Jackal, looking more like Martha Hoople. We're back live at Woodstock 94. The top 20 video countdown is nearly counted all the way down. But Woodstock 94 has only just begun. Live at James and King's X and Sheryl Crow and others are still due on stage later tonight. And 2 more full days of music await the crowd, which is now estimated at over 100,000. And from the looks of things, that's pretty easy to believe. Ricky Rockman is out there in the crowd, a few feet above the throng in front of the main stage. And Ricky, have you noticed that it seems most of the people drawn here today have been drawn by Woodstock? I mean, they're not here to see any of the individual bands. I sort of expected Metallica t-shirts, Red Hot Chili Peppers t-shirts, Peter Gabriel fans. Is that the scene out there?
I'll tell you, Tabitha, I thought the exact same thing. I was going to go, now how's a Metallica fan going to react to Native American artists or something like that? But it seems like all of the bands have been getting great responses, and it seems like Metallica fans are rapping with people with tie-dye Grateful Dead shirts. I mean, it seems like everybody's having a really good time. Even the big crowd of people that seem to be hanging around where Tabitha is.
My little groupies?
Exactly. I haven't seen the Tabitha t-shirts for sale, but I mean, seriously, everybody seems to be getting along. It's very cool.
I'm sure you have quite a few babes sauntering around your little platform.
No, just a couple drunk people with tie-dye shirts on.
Since you're turning into a hippie anyway, you know, you might have a whole different crowd of women after you. And then, of course, you're also a newlywed. So.
Exactly. She's right there, so I have to be careful what I say.
Exactly.
That's why I'm up here rather than down there. Anyway, we're going to go to video number 1 right now. There was a rumor about Soundgarden playing Woodstock, and I think I was the one that accidentally started that, because when there was a rumor about Woodstock, I saw on an itinerary for Soundgarden, it said Woodstock. So I told everybody, oh, I know Soundgarden's playing Woodstock, when I guess that wasn't really the case. Well, here is Soundgarden, and this is sort of them here. This is video number 1.
Going throwing each other on one big blanket, sort of like a trampoline. That will wrap it up for the Top 20 Video Countdown from Woodstock 94. But our coverage of these festivities will continue all weekend long. Right, Bill Bellamy?
It has been fabulous, Tabitha. I mean, all day I've been hanging out with the people, having a good time. And I got some friends here right now, as you can see. Where are you from?
Louisiana. Virginia Beach.
Greg from New York. See, we got a whole lot of people here and a whole lot more coverage. 8 o'clock tonight, it's on. Back to you, Tabitha.
Thanks, Bill. Virginia Beach, I actually went to high school right near there. Hey, Allison Stewart, have you enjoyed your first day of Woodstock?
I have, Miss Tabitha. Let me tell you, I got the inside scoop from the artist about the show tonight. Miss Sheryl Crow is so excited to play that big stage. Her eyes are huge. She's been playing small clubs all summer. She is ready. King's X, they are going to do a Hendrix cover tonight, and Live are considering nudity, basically, and I think that's Ricky's fault.
I'm sure you've been encouraging them also, Allison. Ricky actually has had the best vantage point for this entire show up on his little platform. Former headbanger, current hippie. Ricky, how you doing?
Squad, I still have to do Headbangers Ball from Woodstock. I'm telling you, this may seem like the best vantage point, but I gotta be honest, I'm kind of glad to stop for a while because I want to go out there. I want to go buy things and go to the Surreal Field and meld with my new hippie friends and eat granola and wave peace signs and tie-dye shirts and, you know.
Calm down.
Sorry.
We'll let you go in 2 seconds. That is it from here from now. But remember, our live coverage continues all weekend long, and be sure to catch the Week in Rock tonight at 7:30 live from Woodstock 94. The Soren, and this is the Week in Rock, coming to you live from day 2 of Woodstock 94 in Saugerties, New York, where concert organizers say the crowd now numbers in the neighborhood of 200,000.
Well, today opened on a very sad note with the news of Woodstock 94's first fatality. Last night at 10:30 p.m., 44-year-old Joseph Ausel of West Babylon, New York, was found unconscious in his tent at one of the many campsites ringing the festival. He was later pronounced dead at a local hospital. Cause of death has not yet been announced, but prescription drugs were found on his person, and he was reportedly drinking vodka last night.
There are also reports of cervical injuries suffered by people in the mosh pit, but we're still awaiting details on that. No on-site arrests have been reported, and as we told you last night, there's also been a report of a young man who suffered an overdose of an undisclosed drug. At last report, he was hospitalized in fair condition.
All right, well, in other Woodstock 94 news, ticket sales are officially over on the orders of Ulster County officials, who say that parking, not traffic, is the problem. And in kind of an echo of Woodstock 69, you remember where Arlo Guthrie made his famous announcement from the stage that the New York State Thruway has been closed, man. 3 exits on that thruway have, in fact, been closed.
And speaking of Woodstock 69, we're told that around 15,000 people have gathered in Bethel, New York, at the site of Woodstock 69. Last week, promoter Sid Bernstein, who lost financial backing to mount a Bethel 94 show, said Woodstock 69 acts like Richie Havens and Melanie were willing to play there for free this weekend. Playing for $135 a pop here on Friday was a parade of local bands with names like Futu Futu and ABBA Rage, followed by such diverse acts as Live, Jackal, King's X, James, and Sheryl Crow. Here are some highlights.
This bed is on fire with passion and love. The neighbors complain about the noises above, but she only comes when she's on top. My therapist said not to see you no more. Oh, where the night lights shine down.
Woodstock 94's first day. Today's musical lineup is kicked off by Woodstock 69 returnee Joe Cocker in less than half an hour. The smaller South Stage opens today with Salt and Pepper, Primus, and some international acts.
And of course, today's North Stage lineup also brings us that Soren Connolly choice for segue of the day, from Crosby, Stills & Nash to 9 Inch Nails. Well, this whole region has a rich musical history, but for Saugerties, a town of 20,000, these are challenging times. The area lost some 5,000 jobs when IBM downsized, and now they have reported 200,000 new friends in town. Here's how they're coping.
I think we're doing terrific. I really do. I think this has been a great adventure for the town here.
People trucking by with their backpacks and their camping gear and their water jugs and their Woodstock attitudes.
This is beautiful. This is the best thing that's ever happened to Saugerties.
What are people wanting to buy this week?
Condoms. Condom sales are brisk. Gotta have them. Inside, I got a fountain of love, man. Get 3 chances for $2.
What's the strangest thing you've seen so far? Thank you very much. You know, they said if they'll build it, I will come. I have arrived. You think some people in town maybe were worried about this?
I certainly. Got to be worried about it. But don't do no good. Let it happen, right?
Having a good time?
I'm with him. Very good.
Local people spoke out and said no trespassing, my shotgun's loaded, but you know, that's carrying it a little bit too far, I think.
People are all coming in, they're all friendly, behaving themselves. We're happy with it.
I think they're doing a great job with the traffic, and I think everybody's really nice. And we welcome everybody, everybody.
I'm disappointed that Guns N' Roses won't be here. I hope the Stones show up.
Keep hoping, my friend. An ironic footnote, Saugerties was originally chosen as the site for Woodstock 69, but some locals objected. So eventually the festival moved to the town of Bethel, some 70 miles away.
We'll move aside for our sponsors right now, but when we return, Green Day, the Woodstock 94 Eco Village, and Chris goes backstage to see the other side of Woodstock 94. Do stay tuned.
And we did, and they said yes. We couldn't believe that they did it, and they couldn't believe that we asked, so it was fun.
Welcome back to the Weekend Rock live from Woodstock 94.
And since yesterday afternoon, we've been taking you all around this temporary city plopped down on an 800-acre farm, but we haven't shown you all the stuff happening around the edges and behind the scenes, until now. Every bit as populous as the 10 areas, but a lot more complicated, the backstage area at Woodstock 94. A thicket of highways that makes it look like a MASH unit run amok. Media facilities, catering, first aid stuff, artist hangouts, a whole lot more. Let us give you a taste of the Woodstock you won't see on stage. All right, this backstage area is so complicated, covers so much ground, has so many things in different areas that the first thing you've got to know is how to get around. The key mode of transportation for most people, this wacky little golf cart. Other ways to get around, we got mountain bikes for those who are more athletically inclined, forklift trucks if you're lifting some major things, all-terrain vehicles, school buses if you're parking outside the site, need to get in, or if you just need to get around in a big hurry, good old-fashioned rubber soles. All right, as important as it is that Woodstock 94 is a success with its audiences here, it's also important that the mainstream media feel it's a successful event. So as you can see, there are lots of satellite uplink trucks, there are lots of places for correspondents to be filing reports. Notice, for example, from this position, a correspondent can be seen to stand in front of the tents there, or stand in front of the hundreds of thousands of people who are watching the action on one of the stages. Okay, we're now in the main press tent where, if you see behind me, one of the press briefings is going on to the assembled daily media, people from radio, people from local newspapers and such from all across the country. They're getting updates on the traffic situation here, the basic attendance, any police problems there might be, any health situations, just kind of getting the wording going out. You see an enormous high-tech situation behind me too, lots of camera crews, enormous amount of power books, people really plugged in, fax machines, topographical maps of the area, anything possible to make sure that people know what's happening in these parts. All right, this is the catering line, and all those techniques you learned back in high school in terms of getting food come in real handy right here. 16,000 meals a day are coming out of a place like this. This is the main kitchen here backstage at Woodstock. Lots of stuff getting made for all sorts of people to eat, artists, backstage talent, all the guys who are working on the crews and stuff. And as you see, this stuff gets made in a hurry. Jack, what are you making here?
We're doing a curry sauce for chicken cordon bleu for tonight. And then we're doing some grilled steaks with some baby carrots. Vegetarian burritos tonight.
All right, well, after all of our rambling and stomping backstage, we finally arrived backstage, where I figure my stature as an MTV guy, my totally kicking all-access laminates, and the fact that I'm a close personal friend of whatever this band is ought to get me backstage. Come with me. Here we go, right here. VIP? No. VIP 1, 2. All right, how about staff? Staff, I'm a staff guy. All right, let me just try one other thing. Look, stage acts, say no.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Oh, gee. Well, thanks anyway. You know, I never did let me backstage. I think it had something to do with my hair.
Well, they will be letting Green Day on stage tomorrow, Chris, when the band flies in from its opening slot on the Lollapalooza tour to play the Woodstock 94 South stage. This band has exploded out of Berkeley, California with their debut album, Dookie, and we caught up with Green Day and its bookmobile tour bus to get their whole story.
Green Day seemed to burst out of nowhere with Longview, the first single from their major label debut. But they'd already had a strong following from their earlier independent releases and surprised some die-hard fans by signing to a major label.
A lot of people tend to claim ownership over a band because if they get into them, you know, especially on an underground level, because it's that much more personal. There's no real backlash that really bugged the hell out of us or anything. It was more, you know, let's just put out a record and try to make it better than our last. There's a lot more frat guys that seem to come out to our shows. I mean, it's, I don't know, they see it on television and they think of it as this like macho aggression. You know, you can really make a mockery of the situation at any given moment. So, especially live, because it takes a lot, you know, we make fun of a lot of people live.
This song is dedicated to, that guy right there, jumping up and down. That guy, that's the one right there. The song's called Jump.
Wrapping up their small club tour, Green Day will have lots more people to have fun with as they join the Lollapalooza tour in their bookmobile.
I think there's something like 30 buses or something that's going to be on Lollapalooza, and
right.
Here we come up in the bookmobile.
They'll all be standing in line with their library cards.
It was a traveling library that was found in Phoenix, Arizona, and it was converted into an RV. A lot of people come up to the book and they're like, "Do you have books for sale in there?" It's like, we don't even read, so.
Don't expect to see Green Day driving the bookmobile up for their Woodstock performance. They've got other plans for a big entrance.
Well, actually, when you're flown
Give me a ticket for an aeroplane.
And then we're gonna parachute onto the stage with our guitars in our hands.
But the first song is going to be Mike with these prop wings on, going into his version of Star Spangled Banner.
It might turn out to be something actually kind of neat. You never know. Like a neat documentation of what was actually going on.
playing the South Stage here tomorrow. Green Day returns to the Lollapalooza tour in Miami. And now for another green-oriented report from Allison Stewart out on our platform a couple of 100 yards into the crowd. Allison?
It's true, environmentalists always say be green, not mean, but those environmentalists might be a little upset by the Woodstock grounds this morning. There is an enormous amount of trash. You might remember back in 1969, New York Governor Nelson Rockefeller had to declare the Woodstock site a disaster area after the whole thing was over. But in 1994, they are stressing planetary protection. Out in the Midway, they have an entire exhibit devoted to the ecology. It's called the Eco Village, and MTV News took a little visit.
There's so many different things to see. I mean, we've just been looking around and we still haven't seen nearly half the stuff.
And we've all converged here in Woodstock to show our products that combine hemp, natural fibers, natural dyes. Here we have a little roll of hand-spun hemp. You can't smoke it, but you can definitely wear it.
Well, these hats are the most happening thing in Woodstock. They're the latest craze right out of Dr. Zeus. It doesn't matter. It's comical. It's happening. People like it.
We've seen everything from shirts to necklaces to chairs, everything.
Here at the Love Tent, we like to say, the love is free, the rest is going to cost you.
If you want the original Woodstock, you got to come here and pay out for it. And of course, if you like the homegrown stuff, just go there and get that. Whatever you want, man. Just do what you want. It's what Woodstock's all about.
I am working here, piercing nose and ears. I'm just here to hear some music and put some holes in people.
The Eco Village is really opening my eyes to a lot of stuff I didn't know about.
I think the whole Woodstock thing so far is really, really peaceful. I think everybody's really trying to, get it together. I mean, the Greenpeace thing is amazing.
Cyrus is a solar generator. It's actually also a display of solar power in action. We're powering this whole eco village with just this one trailer, and there's about 20 tents down here that have outlets and lights at night, all from Cyrus.
I think Eco Village is very informative. We don't see things firsthand, so when we see a picture right up in front of our face about what's going on in the world, it's really scary. It makes me sick to my stomach. I just really want to go in my tent and cry.
First, we have some just basic petitions that people are signing on human rights violations going on all over the world. Then we also have some computers set up in the back. We're capturing some messages, and we're going to email them to the president when we get out of here.
Well, I think Eco Village is really great. I mean, I just sent email to President Clinton, about what I feel, what I wanted to tell him. So it's a really cool place.
A lot of really cool things going on at Woodstock 94. You might remember at the end of the Woodstock movie that big pile of garbage. Well, organizer Michael Lang, when he took off on a helicopter, he said he looked down and he noticed that people were actually taking garbage and forming a peace symbol, which is kind of a nice thing to do. Recycling the stuff is even a nicer thing to do. Back to you, Chris.
Thanks, Allison. Hope that garbage looks good through those beautiful sunglasses. We're going to take another quick break, but when we return, we'll explore another of Woodstock 94's midway attractions, the Surreal Field.
Speaking of surreal, we'll check in with the adorable Randy of the Redwoods. Don't go away.
Welcome back to the Week in Rock live from Woodstock 94.
Shiny, happy people.
Okay.
We got here Thursday afternoon before any concert goers were even let in. And even then, everyone was talking about the Surreal Field, a high-tech playground that's part of the extra musical midway here at Woodstock 94. 2 days into the festival, people are still talking about it. Here's why.
This is a fun zone to teach people about new technology.
You cannot keep this a secret any longer.
We give them a little multimedia light show, and then we let them in here to play and experience CDI, movies, games, music titles that we have, so that they can experience something a little bit different than music all day.
There were like these windpipes where you put your hand on it, plays different soundtracks of Jimi Hendrix, and when you move your hand in different places, you can mix them from the Star Spangled Banner to some of his other works.
It's a hydraulic motion simulator pod. We run our simulators. We run a bunch of different types of software programs on them. What we're running right now is the Peter Gabriel Mind Blender Rock Motion Theater. The ride kind of is synced to whatever they see on the screen, and it kind of shakes them around. It makes them feel like they're experiencing exactly what they see on the screen.
It was a wild ride. Going down the throat was everything. Going down the throat of the frog.
I've never seen nothing like that before. It was great.
You put on these they're updated, like 3D glasses almost. They're not like the colorful ones or anything.
It's like you're doing this sport listening to the music, and I think the music heightens your sense of like the visual and the music. You know, you're there. You're there.
You go in there, you put on these little glasses, and you just shut your eyes, and it lights up, and like all the lights rush at you, and there's like soothing music in your ears. It's like you go on a voyage.
It's like psycho. It's like
you go on a
robotic,
voyage with the lights.
I think it's great. I came to Woodstock just expecting music, but I mean, this is technology. It's great. I'm really enjoying it, you know.
The surreal field, way, way back, past the woods, far behind me, but well worth the trip.
And speaking of trips, it's time now to get some unique perspective on Woodstock 94 with our own living reminder of Woodstock 69 psychedelic spirit, the human time warp, Randy of the Redwoods. Randy?
This is a map of all the services they have right here, and you are here, and that's where. Oh, how'd they know I was gonna be here? I kind of wish they hadn't put that there, but they did. And then all of this, everybody that came here came on buses, different colored buses. When you leave, this is where they're gonna be parked. Black buses over here, brown, purple, and everything. And you gotta go home on those buses, or I don't know what they do, sue you. These arrows, these are where men and women meet. And if you wanna meet a man or a woman, you go over here. And these are just numbers. I'd ignore those. These arrows here, this means a meeting place for bisexuals. And you notice Woodstock has a lot of like just bisexual meeting places all over. I really wish this wasn't here. That is very unfortunate. I mean, who knew that I was going to be here? That's what I want to know. Okay. All right, I'm just all of a sudden kind of bugged, so let's move away from. I hope that doesn't follow me.
Oh, that Randy.
I love him. That'll do it for this edition of The Week in Rock.
We have another all-new live edition coming tonight at 6 p.m.
Meantime, keep it right where it is, because another big day of music is just beginning here at Woodstock 94. They just said Joe Cocker's almost ready to come on stage, and we'll be right here to bring it to you.
Please remain in your seats.
From the
Although there were rumors that Metallica bagged Woodstock 94, they will indeed be playing here tonight. Right now, Joe Cocker is on stage beside me, making everyone in the audience feel all right. Even if they were in diapers when that song came out, they know the words. We talked to some people who were babies when their parents played Woodstock in 1969 to see what they make of an event that was such a big deal for their parents' generation, and here's what they told us.
My
LA. today, and somebody will try to find them in the crowd later, but not me. Right now, as Joe Cocker sings Leave Your Hat On, let's check in with Bill Bellamy.
Tabitha, you're not gonna believe this, but baby, I'm up here having a real good time. Joe Cocker's on stage ripping it. He was the guy here in '69 that tore the stage up. He's back for the 25th anniversary. And you, my friends, can see this whole concert courtesy of your own living room with pay-per-view in its entirety. All you gotta do is call your local cable operator, and let me tell you, you will enjoy yourself and have a good time. But right now, I wanna take you away with a video. Collective Soul with Shine. It was shown from last night. Check it out.
John Sensio here live at Woodstock 94. I'm hanging out in the crowd. Joe Cocker's playing. He played at the first one. And these are some of my new friends. We're just chilling, right? What's your name, man?
Dan.
Dan. And you are?
Kelly.
And you are?
Danielle.
Now think about this. This is fascinating. Her name's Danielle, and his name's Danielle. It's a very Woodstock type of thing to happen. Did you stay here overnight?
I certainly did.
And what'd you guys do? Sleep in a tent?
We slept over there. It's kind of crowded, but
Was it loud with all the people around?
it was a little bit loud. But after a while, you just passed out. Went to
Tell me something. Who stayed in the tent with you?
my friend over here, Danielle.
Danielle and Dan stayed in the same tent. Now, how was that?
It was cozy.
Were you guys kind of getting a little goofy?
No, we were being good.
Come on, we're all friends here. And what's your name?
Kelly.
We went over that. Are you having a good time or what?
I'm having a great time.
Can you believe the number of people here? And it's funny because we're in kind of a spatial area. Did you guys see this over here? This is a family. This is an actual family here. It's a mom and dad and kids, and they're hanging out. We didn't see much of that at the first one, I guess. Are you guys having a good time?
My parents are awesome. My parents are the coolest parents in the world.
Are you having a good time, man?
My parents are awesome. Same parents, so that's saying a lot.
That's great, because you both kids, you got the same parents. How they behave?
They're better than 69. Better than 69.
Are you guys worried at all with what the kids are doing?
What?
You worried at all about the kids being here?
No, they're better than us.
You guys are crazy, man. Hey, Tabitha, what are you doing, Tabitha?
Well, I want to tell you about how big this crowd is. This morning, organizers said it was around 200,000 people. What we haven't shown you yet or told you about is the scene on the way into Woodstock 94. People have set up tents for several miles alongside roads leading out of the site. So this just behind me, this is just the, I don't know, it's not all of it. On the way in this morning, we saw tents literally inches from the sides of roads. Not the most, I guess that's sort of a little dangerous. Gravel parking lots covered with these same bubbled-shaped pop tents that are all over the concert site. We saw a guy sound asleep on a metal guardrail next to the road. Quite a scene. However, state police are all over the place, and authorities said this morning that there have been no major complaints of any kind from people in the town of Saugerties. They're probably just thinking of, you know, ringing up their cash registers. Later on, we will actually show you a wedding live here. There's actually a tent where they have ministers and rabbis that are marrying people en masse, but this particular couple found their own minister and they are getting married as just a couple. They weren't into the whole communal thing. But right now we're going to take a break for a bit, but still to come on stage, backstage, and all around the temporary rock and roll city that is Woodstock 94. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Woodstock 94. I'm Bill Bellamy, and right here to my right is a really cool guy from Manhattan. I heard you went out to the rave last night.
We were at the rave all night, and it rained, and it was absolutely insane, and this is one party, let me tell you.
Well, how was it sleeping here at Woodstock?
Not too comfortable, but after a while, you know, it doesn't really matter. This is a long way from the beach house.
Well, I know it is. This is not the beach house here, but it's Woodstock 94. You just deal with it. I heard that you took a shower in the faucet today.
Took a shower in the faucet this morning. It's a little rough lying on the ground washing your hair, but you deal with it. And
no conditioner?
I don't know what it looks like from TV, but this is the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Guys, let me tell you, if you're home, you need to be here. If you can't, just make sure you watch it pay-per-view. But Tabitha, what's going on up there where you are?
Up here, Bill, everyone is letting their freak flag fly. We have been showing you all the sights and sounds of Woodstock 94, but we haven't taken you around the edges and behind the scenes yet. We've likened Woodstock 94 to a city, and there are several tent cities here. Backstage, though, is a whole scene unto itself, as Chris Connolly discovered.
Every bit as populous as the 10 areas, but a lot more complicated. The backstage area at Woodstock 94. A thicket of highways that makes it look like a MASH unit run amok. Media facilities, catering, first aid stuff, artist hangouts, a whole lot more. Let us give you a taste of the Woodstock you won't see on stage. All right, this backstage area is so complicated, covers so much ground, has so many things in different areas that the first thing you've got to know is how to get around. The key mode of transportation for most people, this wacky little golf cart. Other ways to get around, we got mountain bikes for those who are more athletically inclined, forklift trucks if you're lifting some major things, all-terrain vehicles, school buses if you're parking outside the site, need to get in, or if you just need to get around in a big hurry, good old-fashioned rubber soles. All right, as important as it is that Woodstock 94 is a success with its audiences here, it's also important that the mainstream media feel it's a successful event. So as you can see, there are lots of satellite uplink trucks, there are lots of places for correspondents to be filing reports. Notice, for example, from this position, a correspondent can be seen to stand in front of the tents there, or stand in front of the hundreds of thousands of people who are watching the action on one of the stages. Okay, we're now in the main press tent where, if you see behind me, one of the press briefings is going on to the assembled daily media, people from radio, people from local newspapers and such from all across the country. They're getting updates on the traffic situation here, the basic attendance, any police problems there might be, any health situations, just kind of getting the word and going out. You see an enormous high-tech situation behind me too, lots of camera crews, enormous amount of power books, people really plugged in, fax machines, topographical maps of the area, anything possible to make sure that people know what's happening in these parts. All right, this is the catering line, and all those techniques you learned back in high school in terms of getting food come in real handy right here. 16,000.
Going on backstage, I'm sort of side stage now, and the funny thing about being even way back here, away from the crowds, is you can still see the moshing, and the moshing here is so intense. I was backstage at the first aid tent. People are all beaten up and goofed up, and their noses are funny all, and the thing is, they're moshing to everything. They're not just moshing to hardcore. Sheryl Crow's out there doing her thing, and people are surfing through the air, man. It's completely goofy, and oh, here, we got a video from a band who's going to be performing here later at Woodstock at Cypress Hill, and man, when these guys go on, people are going to be doing some serious moshing. Check out Insane in the Membrane.
Welcome back to Woodstock 94. I'm Bill Bellamy up here in the platform tower. Let me tell you, Joe Cocker just ripped the stage. Matter of fact, he's still up there. He probably has a couple of more sets to do. But let me just read off to you some of the people that will be on stage today, like Blind Melon. Hopefully you'll see the B-Girl running through the crowd. We got Cypress Hill, Rollins Band, Melissa Etheridge, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. We got 9 Inch Nails, Metallica for all the hard rockers, and we got Aerosmith headlining tonight. Right now, I would like to show you down to John Cincio, because he's in the crowd. I want to know what's going on down there, John.
Hey, thanks, Bill. This is John Cincio here. I'm down in the middle of it, man, and these are some people I've just been hanging out with. It's early in the morning. What's your name, man?
Scott Ferris.
How'd it go last night sleeping out here in the tent?
Went great. Slept like a baby.
Yeah? Did you sleep like a baby? And who are you, my friend?
I'm Melissa. I slept just fine.
Huh? And did you guys, like, stay here together?
My sister.
Okay, man, look, they even put a little roof on this thing. It's a beautiful thing. What bands are you guys looking forward to seeing?
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Now, what about you, man?
9 Inch Nails.
And, oh, man, that's going to be some crazy stuff, huh? What do you think of it? How'd it go here last night for you?
Nice. It was pretty cool. It was nice.
And tell me something. How did you manage to get this beautiful clearing right here? How'd you do that?
I don't know.
Hey, man, tell me something. How are the neighbors here, like around?
Neighbors are great. We got some friends over here from Canada, from Ireland over there. We're having a great time.
You hear that, man? They got Canadian people right there. Those are real Canadian people that came here. And there's Irish people. It's unbelievable. How do you think the people in the town of Saugerties are going to deal with this whole mess, man?
They'll deal with it, you know. I mean, when they come around, think about it later, the whole world's watching their town. They're going to like it.
That's right. You can see how Saugerties is dealing with it. Saugerties right now. Check it out, man.
You want to say. Over here to the left, we have the artist compound. We also have some artists. Arrested Development are right over here to my left. Hello, Mr. Cameraman. Come on back this way. We are going to be interviewing artists all weekend long. In fact, we talked to some of the folks from Candlebox last night who performed the first night of Woodstock. Here they are on video. Candlebox.
$100 left to my name when I won this contest.
So now the fact that you were ushered in here in a limo and you got a chef cooking for you at night, I mean, you must be psyched.
Oh, it's one extreme to the other. Destitution to just like opulence.
Tell me about your evening last night. How much sleep did you get?
We're probably going
Very literate. Just sort of tempting the crowd. Yeah, I hear you. That's fantastic. Go vomit all over yourself. All right, that was Candlebox and Far Behind Kennedy standing here in the crowd amidst the tents at Woodstock 94 in Saugerties, New York. And of course, stumble upon some fellow Oregonians. That's where I'm from. And these guys you're wearing those kooky glasses. What do they do exactly?
Come to Woodstock if you can make it.
What do the glasses do? Rainbow effect of everything. Oh, put them up to the camera. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? Yeah, well, if you were at Woodstock, you'd see the colors, and you'd see they actually just announced that there's all this bad acid. The Felix acid, fireworks, and the Weasel. Don't take that because it has strychnine in it. But call your local cable operator if you want to stay acid-free and check out the pay-per-view by yourself. And Woodstock 94 is happening in a big way. Right now, let's go to Ricky.
The scary thing, Kennedy, is that most of those people are still seeing the colors even with the glasses off, so that's kind of a scary thing. Check it out. Still to come, we're going to see bits of Aerosmith, and of course, who knows which way it's going to go. Metallica is about to take the stage, so stay tuned.
Before fame, before fortune, before screaming fans ripped at their clothes, these individuals were all freaks, nerds, and weirdos. Join MTV in celebrating people who stand apart from the mainstream, those who shine in the spotlight for being different. Freaks, Nerds, and Weirdos, an MTV News special. Tuesday night at 10. Plug in or be square.
Woodstock 94. The concert you've waited your whole life for.
Ricky Rackman here. We're back at Woodstock 94. If I could be in two places at once, I'd be right here because Metallica is playing right there, and I'd probably be backstage because Juliet gets to talk to Aerosmith.
Hi, I'm here in the interview tent with the entire band from Aerosmith. How are you guys doing?
Yo,
Very
baby.
good.
It was the second day of Woodstock, and oh, though it rocked, not a creature was sober, not even a cop.
No, you keep that one.
This is the only couch at Woodstock.
This is
I
the
could
only
just
one.
stay here all night.
I'm the luckiest girl. Now, how long have you been here, and how many interviews have you done so far?
15. One more time for the
15,
kids who are listening.
30, I don't know.
I lost count of both.
I mean, official ones with cameras or just like anybody throwing a tape recorder in your face?
Official ones.
I don't know. All the major...
About an hour worth.
La-di-da.
And what was the most popular question so far?
The ones you're getting ready to ask, I hope.
What is the myth of Woodstock? Pretty much.
Okay, well, own up. Who was actually there?
When actually, it's just the world's most gigantic petting zoo.
So own up. Who was actually there?
At this one...
At the original
Joey and I
one?
were there.
You were there?
Yeah.
So give us the scoop. Tell us what it was like.
Nuts. It was just like this. It was a complete, stoned out, wild mess.
Sex fest.
It was the sex fest. It was the best. I mean, the bands. Never mind the bands, right? It was just, it was declared a what zone?
A disaster
A
area.
disaster area. And they
Right.
were dropping hot dogs out of helicopters. And,
Wow.
And I'd taken many mics. And it was nuts.
Well, great. Well, we'll be back with more for here at Woodstock 94.
Thanks, Juliet. Check it out. If you were at the very back of the field and you were looking at the audience towards the stage, you would see smoke, and it would almost look like there's a fire. It's not a fire. It's steam coming off all the bodies. This thing is totally amazing. Metallica is just in the ending of their first song right now. Now, Saugerties, where Woodstock is held, is a very small, quiet town. Very small, quiet town where Metallica is playing, where right now there's over 250,000 people. Let's see how a small town like Saugerties copes.
I think we're doing terrific. I really do.
I think this has been a great adventure for the town here.
People trucking by with their backpacks and their camping gear and their water jugs and their Woodstock attitudes.
This is beautiful. This is the best thing that's ever happened to Saugerties.
What are people wanting to buy this week?
Condoms. Condom sales are brisk. Gotta have them. Inside, I got a fountain of love, man. Get 3 chances for $2.
What's the strangest thing you've seen so far?
Thank you very much. You know, they said if they'll build it, I will come. I have arrived.
You think some people in town maybe were worried about this?
Certainly. Got to be worried about it. But don't do no good. Let it happen. Right?
Having a good time?
I'm with him. Very good. Local people spoke out and said no trespassing. My shotgun's loaded, but you know, that's carrying it a little bit too far, I think.
People are all coming in. They're all friendly, behaving themselves. We're happy with it.
I think they're doing a great job with the traffic, and I think everybody's really nice. And we welcome everybody. Everybody.
I'm disappointed that Guns N' Roses won't be here. I hope the Stones show up.
That man right now is in that pit over there. Right now, Metallica is playing Masters of Puppets. Right now, you're jealous because you're going to watch a Metallica video, and I'm going to watch Metallica live play Master of Puppets. You want to see them live the rest of the night? I know, so do I. Well, you're going to watch a video, and I'm going to watch them live. Stay tuned. More Woodstock 94. Metallica is playing right there. Oh, right there. They say there's like 300,000 people. I tried to count myself. I lost count. So on Ricky Rackman's count, there's like 84 people, but I think that they're probably a little bit more accurate at saying there's over 300,000 people. Another good thing about Woodstock is you get to see a band you might not have seen live. For instance, I've seen Metallica a dozen times. Salt and Pepper I'd never seen live except for tonight. Good show. Also, by the looks of their show, they plan to, I guess they're really big hockey fans, which is very cool. And right now, Juliet is with Salt and Pepper.
Yes, I am here with Salt and Pepper. So how are you girls doing?
Okay, great.
How was the South Stage?
It was good. It was fab. The audience was wonderful. They gave it up. It was the best.
Now, we were over there earlier today, and there was a lot of people sleeping. Did you manage to get them up?
I think everybody was up. Once we hit the stage, and we went through so much trying to get here. We had a show in Illinois. We were like 15 hours away, and we came in on our tour bus. So we were calling the place like, I don't think we're going to make it, but they made adjustments for us to get through and, you know, us to go on later. So we ended up going on later, and we did it. And we glad we're here, and, and it went good. It turned out great. Yeah, the crowd was do it again. hype.
I mean, one of the things about this is that there's so many different styles of music, and yet all the people out there seem to, they don't disappear away.
Right.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, the atmosphere out here is just so peaceful, loose and so fun. It's like everybody's just hanging out, chilling, peace and love and all that good stuff. It's true. It's like a family thing. Everybody get together. It's like a big unity thing.
Now, did you bring your kids?
Yeah. Pep didn't bring her son. I didn't bring my son. Hi, Tyran, because I know he's going to see this. We love you, Tyran. Love you, Tyran. but Spin's daughter, Christy, is here, and my daughter, Corinne, is here. Yeah.
And I actually see them over there, and
they're over there.
Very, very adorable. Well, we're now going to go to one of your videos. This is Salt and Pepper with Shoop.
All right.
Hey, yeah, I want to shoot, baby, shoot.
Ooh. How you doing, baby? No, not you. You, the bow-legged one. Yeah. What's your name? Damn, baby. That sounds sexy.
Here I go again, girls. What's my weakness? Okay, then chillin', minding my business. You saw I looked around and I couldn't believe this. I swear, I stared, my niece, my witness. The brother had it going on with something kinda wicked. Had to kick it. I'm not shy, so I asked for the digits. I hope no, that don't make me see what I want. Slip, slide to it swiftly. Felt it in my hips, so I dipped back to my bag of tricks. Then I flipped for a tip, made me wanna do tricks on them, lick them like a lollipop should be licked. Came to my senses and I chill for a bit. Don't know how you do the voodoo that you do so well. It's a spell, hell, makes me wanna shoot.
Shoot that hoop.
spank your mother for a butt like that. Can I get some fries with that shake, shake, booby? If looks could kill, you would be an Uzi or a shotgun. Bang! What's up with that thing? I wanna know, how does it hang? Straight up, wait up, hold up, Mr. Lover. Like Prince said, you're a sexy mother. Well, I like them real wild. B-boy style by the mile. Smooth black skin with a smile. Bright as the sun. I wanna have some fun. Come and give me some of that.
Live at Woodstock in the bowels of the backstage area in front of the medical tent, and we just finished talking to some of the medical personnel, and we asked them the sort of problems that they're having during Woodstock, and surprisingly there are no, well, there are some, but not too many drug overdoses. Those aren't the real problems. The problem is the mosh pit. All the people in the mud, all the rain has created this big, huge mud bath, and they're getting a lot of head injuries and broken ankles and things like that. And now I'm talking to Bob. Bob just came out of the medical tent. What happened to you?
Oh, no, I was doing some mud sliding, and I guess I got a ton of mud in my eye. And Pam took great care of me. She cleaned it out. She put a little Novocaine in there because it was irritated big time, and it was hurting. But they took real good care of me, and Pam's the best.
Are you feeling pretty good about being a Woodstock casualty?
No, I'm missing the show.
All right, well, go get back out there, Bob. Okay. Ricky, take it away. Tell us what's going on.
When did the term officially change from slam dancing to moshing? That's the one thing I want to know. Anyways, here's a charming thought. There's been a lot of casualties, I mean, not major ones in that pit, but here's a good thought. Metallica's only into their second song, and they're going to play for another hour, so, oh, there'll be lots more mud in your eye and fists in your eyes and feet down your throat, and oh, the stuff that's making Woodstock 94, and seriously, there really hasn't been any major things that I've seen so far. You know, we got plenty more of Woodstock 94, and just think, even after this, I mean, we're way past midnight, Aerosmith is still going to be playing after Metallica, so it's going to be a long night, and I hope you're going to be spending it with us. Your friends here at MTV. More Woodstock 94. Stay tuned.
We were 500,000 strong. Canada here, Woodstock 94, live sort of underneath the stage, and we're talking to
Greg Bates.
Greg Bates and
Bob Smith.
Now, you guys are special because you were here. Come on in, scoot in here, Bob. You were here in 1969, so how the hell does Woodstock and Woodstock 94 compare?
What you're saying is, how does it compare? Well, it's very similar. Maybe not as many people as we saw in 1969, but the crowd is great, fantastic people out there, great young people. I'm just proud to be here. I really am.
So am I. I didn't know it was going to be this much fun. Seriously, it rocks. And the Smith is coming up. Now, it was kind of disorganized in 69, huh?
Well, it's kind of disorganized. It might be a little disorganized here. It's hard to handle a crowd this big. There's a lot of mud out there, just like there was in Woodstock in 1969. But I'm enjoying it.
You moshing?
I'm 48 years old. I was there in 69. I'm here now.
And he's got plenty of lead in his pencil. So does Steven Tyler. Juliet, you're with the Smith. You're with Aerosmith. What's going on?
Hi, I'm here in the interview tent with Aerosmith. We were talking a little bit earlier about the fact that you were here. So what do you think of this particular one? So
Never
far.
seen much of it yet, you know. Saw it on television before we left, a little bit of pay-per-view. But it's the same thing. It's a get-together of kids, you know, and wild abandon, have as much fun as they can, get in as much trouble.
I mean, when you look at it, it's like it's like a city, but there's no real law, you know? I mean, anything could happen here. You know, there's no organization, really. So I think that's probably a big part of the real, you know, the underlying adrenal vibe of it.
Well, a lot of people were cynical, I guess. Henry Rollins and maybe even Trent Reznor said that they were only doing it for the money. What were your original thoughts on it?
I don't know. I just saw some tape of Nine Inch Nails. They looked like they were having some fun up there.
Now, I think everybody sort of changed their mind on it.
Well, you know, like all the preconceptions and everything that's been written in all the press and stuff. All All that crap's out the window right now.
It's all been broken through now, you know. Once you get 300,000 people, 400,000 people together, you got to have a good time.
And then the back fence comes down.
And that's what
Look
everybody's
for
out there
your
doing, just having a good time.
Well, great. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. And now it's back to you.
Thanks, Juliet. One of the other cool things is that out of these 300,000 people, almost every other person is here to see a different band. So many people are here to see the Allman Brothers. So many people are here to see Aerosmith. If you asked me which two bands was I here to see, I'm probably here to see Metallica. And this next band, which is going to prove to us why touring is fundamental.
Green Day seemed to burst out of nowhere with Longview, the first single from their major label debut. But they'd already had a strong following from their earlier independent releases and surprised some die-hard fans by signing to a major label.
A lot of people tend to claim ownership over a band because if they get into them, you know, especially on an underground level, because it's that much more personal. There's no real backlash that really bugged the hell out of us or anything. It was more, you know, let's just put out a record and try to make it better than our last. There's a lot more frat guys that seem to come out to our shows. I mean, it's, I don't know, they see it on television and they think of it as this, like, macho aggression. You know, you can really make a mockery of the situation at any given moment. So, especially live, because it takes a lot, you know, we make fun of a lot of people live.
This song is dedicated to, that guy right there, jumping up and down. That guy, that's the one right there. The song's called Jump.
Wrapping up their small club tour, Green Day will have lots more people to have fun with as they join the Lollapalooza tour in their bookmobile.
I think there's something like 30 buses or something that's going to be on Lollapalooza, and
right.
We come up in the bookmobile.
They'll all be standing in line with their library cards.
It was a traveling library that was found in Phoenix, Arizona, and it was converted into an RV. A lot of people come up to the book and they're like, "Do you have books for sale in there?" It's like, we don't even read, so.
Don't expect to see Green Day driving the bookmobile up for their Woodstock performance. They've got other plans for a big entrance.
Well, actually, when you've flown
Give me a ticket for an aeroplane.
And then we're going to parachute onto the stage with our guitars in our hands.
But the first song is going to be Mike with these prop wings on, going into his version of Star Spangled Banner.
That's right. It might turn out to be something actually kind of neat. You never know. Like a neat documentation of what was actually going on.
Definitely looking forward to seeing Green Day performing tomorrow at Woodstock. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I was talking to Kennedy earlier, and even she said this on MTV. She said her whole time at Woodstock, she feels bad because she hasn't seen a male penis. I'm sorry, Kennedy said that. She wanted to see a penis at Woodstock. I got to tell you, I've seen Green Day play, and Billy Joe occasionally likes to drop his pants during live performances. So, Kennedy, maybe during Green Day's performance, you will be glad. For those of you waiting for Green Day tomorrow at Woodstock, in the meantime, here is a Green Day video where I know that he does keep his pants on. Here's Green Day with Basket Case. You know, everybody's got their different opinion at Woodstock. If you ask Kennedy or myself, I personally am having a blast. I know that Juliet is backstage right now with somebody that I heard muttering the words, "I want to go home." Juliet.
No. We are having a great time. I am here with Dweezil Zappa, who is not actually playing, but just hanging out. He's come down here with Kennedy.
I had to check it out, and I've seen some very strange things today. I tell you, there are some very bizarre celebrities out there doing strange stuff. Like Gary Coleman was in the drag races that were way in the back with the nitro-burning funny cars.
Are you lying?
No, not at all. John Tesh, he's coming on to play with Aerosmith. That's like, it's a big, you know, secret. But you've also got people like Glenn Scarpelli. I mean, big celebrities. Pat Harrington, who was Schneider on One Day at a Time, was doing carpentry on Woodstock. He was building the stage that Aerosmith and Metallica.
And what about Tom Arnold? Because he was actually here.
He was here too, yeah. But, you know, nobody really cared about Tom, even though he's doing real good in that movie and people like him a lot. It's the big people like the Joey Lawrences and the Denny Terrios that people are excited about.
Okay, now seriously, what has been the highlight for you? The highlight for me so far is definitely Trent Reznor, the guys from Nine Inch Nails, coming totally on stage with mud.
That was very exciting, but I don't think I've witnessed the highlight of the show yet. I still got a little bit of time left, and Aerosmith probably will be right on up there with John Tesh.
So Dweezil is reserving judgment, and I don't blame him. We're going to go to a commercial, but we will be back with loads more live from Woodstock.
You want me to pause for a while so you can hear Metallica right there playing For Whom the Bell Tolls, right? I'm not going to. I was here yesterday too, and I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't sure how the reaction was going to get as it got later and later and later in the night. Well, it was, I think, after 1 o'clock in the morning, and Violent Femmes went on stage, and in my opinion, I think Violent Femmes probably got one of the best responses at all last night. And Juliet hooked up with Violent Femmes, and this is what they said.
So I'm here with Violent Femmes, or most of Violent Femmes. Now, last time I saw you, Brian, you were smoking a cigar, and here you are again.
I don't know, it's Pavlovian. Every time I see you, I must smoke a cigar. I don't know what it is about you. You're just enchanting.
Well, thank you very much. Now, what do you guys make of this whole thing?
How much are we making? We're not gonna know.
How much are you? What do you make of it all?
That would be a great question to ask everybody. I'm sure that would get the interview just rolling right off the bat. It's a big festival. That's what I can tell so far.
Now, you've done quite a few of these. Are you nervous? Do you get nervous?
Well,
MTV interviews? Nah.
No, we're used to doing interviews on MTV and even other TV shows, but
how
you
about
mean we've done quite a few concerts. Are we nervous for playing in front of 150,000 people? No, because when we look out there, we just think of them as ants. And we're not afraid of insects.
Doesn't affect
even
me.
here with all the bugs. There are some bugs
Are there
around here.
a lot of bugs around?
Yeah, you got to spray your off.
Are you getting bit?
I got a little bit bitten
You
earlier.
got a little bit bit?
But anyway,
bit?
Anyway, there'll be a lot more from the interview tent here at Woodstock 94.
You wish you were here last night, but you weren't. You were at home sleeping instead of being here with us at Woodstock. For those of you that weren't here, here is Violent Femmes playing Blister in the Sun at Woodstock.
Just might high as a kite, I just might stop to check. All right, I'd say right about now, maybe you can't really feel this song and what the lyrics are saying, but I know a lot of you are staying for tomorrow and the next day, and we're just gonna be here for a while, and eventually, you'll probably say, oh, yeah, I know what that song's about. When I'm walking, I strut my stuff, and I'm so strung out. I'm high as a kite, I just might stop to check you out. Now, come on now, when I'm walking, I strut my stuff, and I'm so strung out. I'm high as a kite, I just might stop to check you out. Let me go on.
Right there, Metallica is in the middle of Seek and Destroy. In a little bit, we're going to show you, a little appetizer, if you will, of Metallica playing live. I think we're going to show you a little bit of Wherever I May Roam. And I got to be honest with you, I sort of spread a rumor, I said this yesterday, and I think it was me that spread this rumor about Soundgarden playing Woodstock. It's because when we did a show with them on Headbangers Ball a long time ago, I was leaping through their itinerary, and I think I saw the word Woodstock in it. So I got on MTV and told everybody, hey, Soundgarden's going to be playing at Woodstock. Well, obviously that's not the case. But we are going to play their video during the Woodstock weekend. And that's what it must have been. I meant we were going to play a Soundgarden video during the Woodstock weekend. So let's play it as we head into the second hour of our Woodstock coverage, or last hour of the two tonight. Or I'm tired, I need to go to bed. Here's Soundgarden.
There you go. That was Soundgarden with Black Hole Sun. Kennedy here, Woodstock 94 Live. Soundgarden recently played a show, double bill. Actually, there were 6 bands in Toronto, and they played after 9 Inch Nails. Basically, they were the after-show entertainment. It was a little embarrassing for Soundgarden because 9 Inch Nails blew them off the stage, and they blew everyone away tonight. Speaking of blowing and all that sort of stuff, there was some lovemaking going on last year around Woodstock. Chad, when's your birthday?
Today.
When? Now, what does that mean exactly?
I'm 25 today at Woodstock.
So, and this is the 25th anniversary of Woodstock. That means that his parents made love 9 months before the original Woodstock in '69. Were you born there?
No, ma'am.
Where were you born?
Born in Wyandotte, Michigan.
Yeah, me too. I swear to God. Oh, Mud Boys, why don't you just get in there and hug? This is fantastic. All right, let's go to Ricky. What you doing, Ricky?
Kennedy, you in pajamas, talking to that man. I saw the look of love in your eyes. Right now, we're going to show a little bit of Metallica with Wherever I May Roam. Something dawned on me. You know, we have these MTV contest winners that they won a huge motorhome and a chef. And for those contest winners that I know that are also probably watching me right now since we are live, if you notice that a lot of the VJs have been really nice to you, we're not usually that nice to the winners on the contest. It just happens to be that you have the best smelling bathroom and you also have the best food anywhere amongst this whole big farm here. So just wanted to just let you know that. You know, there's more bands that seem to be playing Woodstock that are being played on MTV than bands that aren't on MTV. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. I told you it's getting late. I'm falling apart as we go. Right now, let's take a look at a video from one of the few bands that isn't playing here at Woodstock. This is STP. You just saw Stone Temple Pilots, which would be one of the few bands that is not here at Woodstock 94. We're here tonight. We're also here tomorrow, don't forget. And one of the few people, or as far as I know, the only person that's actually wearing clean flannel pajamas here at Woodstock would be Kennedy. Kennedy, where are you now?
What's going on, Ricky? I'm by the tents out here next to the MTV compound.
Which tent? Is that the tent where they're bringing in all the casualties?
I was by the medical tent earlier, actually. Yes, I was. Very interesting.
So being out there, what would you say would be the food of choice for the Woodstock concert goer?
The food of choice seems to be soiled cheese sandwiches and Spam.
And also, for people that don't know, Kennedy also was up. Basically, you were up all night last night at the rave.
Yeah, I was out here until 8 o'clock this morning, and it was so much fun. We had the best time. I have not laughed so hard as I did last night, waking people up, going into people's tents, totally screwing with people. It was very inappropriate, but it was a good time. We did get yelled at quite a few times.
Now, does it look like the spirits have dropped from the people out there, or are they pretty much same energy level as yesterday?
No, definitely. The energy has actually picked up because today the big headliners are out here. 9 Inch Nails totally revved the crowd up. Right now, Metallica's on. Aerosmith's coming on a little bit, so people are definitely still excited.
Thanks a lot. Of course, we're going to check in with Kennedy a little bit later. And believe it or not, there is still more to come of MTV's coverage of Woodstock 94, so stay tuned. You know, at the first Woodstock 25 years ago, everybody was talking about peace and love, and it's sort of the same thing at this Woodstock. I mean, Metallica just had the 300,000 people chanting the word die, but it was a happy, love-filled die. And the funny thing is, all these people that have been here, most of them actually spent the night here last night and will spend the night here tonight. And earlier, Kennedy checked out everybody's overnightness.
And I was also out there early this morning. I didn't stay up all night, and people were still sleeping at like noon. A lot of people up all night, 2 hours sleep and all that kind of thing. Anyway, we are here backstage in the interview tent. We've got no one to interview at the moment, but we are waiting for Trent Reznor from 9 Inch Nails. They went on earlier today, earlier this evening, in fact. Mud from head to toe, so we think he's probably having a shower, getting rid of the mud, and then he's going to come and talk to us. Well, that's what we're hoping, but for now we're going to go to the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Under the Bridge.
A good sign to me when I see one of the bands that played Woodstock is if they've got mud on them, because that means they didn't hang out backstage. That means that they walked around, probably that they were even out there amongst the over 250,000 people. The guys in Cypress Hill had lots of mud on them, and from what I hear, Be Real even stage dove in front of over the 250,000 people while they were playing. And right after they played, Allison hooked up with Cypress Hill.
Hey, it's Allison Stewart. I am backstage at Woodstock 94. I've been joined by Cypress Hill.
Hi,
Hey, what do
Yeah.
folks say, folks and friends say when you said, yeah, we're going to play Woodstock?
Like my friends, they were bugging out because they couldn't believe it. You know, something that only comes around every 25 years or just a second timer. They were shocked, you know, as much as I was. But a lot of the people were like, yeah, that's cool, you know, go, you know, represent, show them what hip hop's all about, you know.
Yeah, everybody asked me for a T-shirt.
Give me a T-shirt, man. Give me a T-shirt. Or we got to take like 15 or 20 T-shirts back home. But no, we think like the whole reaction that people got from hearing Cypress Hill was going to be there was a cool one, because we've been doing a lot of shows around the world, you know, and the same kids that, you know, wearing Metallica and Guns N' Roses T-shirts are the same kids that are coming to our shows. So we knew that, you know, we'd be able to do good here. And the fact that it's just once in a great while that this has happened, you know, we found it even more of a thing to do to get into.
I think Woodstock is a good place for you guys. I hope you have a great show.
Right
We're going to
on,
get
right
more
on.
coming on from the interview tent. Lots more interviews to come
Peace.
from Woodstock 94.
Cypress Hill was one of the bands that played right before the torrential rain came down and everybody's spirits were high. Right after Cypress Hill, Henry Rollins came on. It started to pour rain, and everybody still had a really good time. Right now, Metallica's on, and it's going to go on, a little bit longer, because we've still got Aerosmith. But right now, since Allison was talking to Cypress Hill, let's take a look at a video from Cypress Hill. Here's Insane in the Brain.
Crazy with this thing. Don't you know I'm loco?
I said earlier that Cypress Hill had mud, up to their ankles, and that was nice because it was like them out there. But to really be like them, you had to have mud, basically from your toenails to the top of your head. When 9 Inch Nails went on stage, every member was completely covered in mud, and looked like the guys out there. It was nice. Matter of fact, Juliet's with 9 Inch Nails right now.
Yeah, Ricky, I am here. I'm very, very excited. This was the one band that I wanted to see, and they came on in mud, looking like the people. Got an obvious question for you. Where did you get all that mud? Obviously somewhere. Did you get in? Did you throw yourself in? How did you get mud all over you?
On the way to the stage, there was a little accident,
It was an accident.
and it turned into a kind of a mud wrestling thing that escalated into a full-scale mud riot. So we froze, and then we stood up there for half an hour while they figured out what was wrong with the PA system.
So what happened? Somebody fell over, or somebody pushed somebody, and then somebody else came in?
I accidentally tripped Danny and pushed his face into the mud, and then he retaliated by body slamming me.
And then David Crosby got in there with us with some mayonnaise and some tape, and it was insane. Yeah, it was absolutely arousing.
Now, how long did it take you? You have showers. I mean, you guys are over there in the artist compound. You have showers. How long did it take you to get it out, off?
The hot water ran out long before I got it out of my ears. So,
Not soon enough.
4 guys saying, uh-oh.
Can you see that? Clean arm. It's still real dirty.
Have you ever done that kind of, mud bath thing? Have you ever had an experience with mud,
Sometimes we pee on each other before stage, but we've never actually done the mud thing.
Okay, well, on that thought, we will now go to commercial, but we will be back with more stuff from 9 Inch Nails. Yes, we're back here in the interview tent with 9 Inch Nails. They were on earlier this evening. How do you think you did?
I thought the show was pretty good, but because of we didn't play that well. We were terrible, actually. There's a lot of broken things, and because of our mud bath, things just tend to go wrong. The guitar neck was totally covered with mud.
You actually threw...
difficulty, yeah. It was not the greatest, no.
No. Well, you threw the guitar. Were you just cross with it?
See, I have a policy where if something doesn't work, it needs to pay the price for that. So if it's out of tune, it has to pay.
Well, the mic went as well. Is that how you got that scratch on your head?
This scratch right here?
Yeah.
I think I hit myself with my mic, and it happens sometimes.
And I saw you were throwing Evian bottles out there. You were cross or angry?
Cross. Call me cross.
So now, when did you guys actually get here, and how did you get here?
We came on a bus, and we got here last night about 3 in the morning, and we stayed up all night and saw the rave, and it was pretty cool. It was cooler than we feared it might be. So.
And you were out. You were able to walk around, and people
Nobody knows what we look like, so we're, now I've got this disfiguring cut in my forehead. I'm safe to roam.
Yeah. Now, Trent, you were very candid because you actually said, I'm really only coming here for the money, and obviously there was a lot of bad press saying that it was, Woodstock Inc. Do you feel with the atmosphere here that maybe you might have been wrong?
No, I mean, my incentive for coming here was two main reasons. One was I thought it would be a fun show to play. And secondly, they offered us a lot of money to play. And with the money we made from tonight's show, we can fund a tour that we would have lost an unbelievable amount of money to do because we take a lot of production out. And I weighed that out. We'll just go out and just try to do the best show we can. And I feared after I committed to do it that it would be a corporate nightmare with a Pepsi logo behind a Woodstock thing. But from being here, I've got a pretty good vibe, and I'm pleased to see that it's turned out to be, so far, a pretty positive thing for the fans that came here to see it.
Oh, great. Well, now we're going to go to a package. John Sensio was down there right at the front in the mosh pit, and here's what happened.
Hey, John Sensio here. We're at the mud mosh pit. It's a little different than the regular mosh pit. People are covered with mud. You can't tell if they're wearing clothes or what. What's your name?
Jessica.
Jessica, did you mean to get this muddy?
No, they threw me in.
Yeah! Did you get dragged in the mud?
No, I walked in.
You did this intentionally?
Yeah, I followed mud people in here.
What does that mean, my people? Who are your people?
Mud people.
It's just like a tribe you have?
Yeah. We're everywhere.
How's your family gonna think about seeing you all muddy like this?
They're gonna kill me.
They're gonna kill you. Why's that?
I'm not supposed to be here.
What's your name?
Kathy.
Kathy the Mud Girl. Did you mean to get in the mud?
Sorta.
The mud people live. All these people think they're gonna stay clean. Woodstock 94. Right here. This is it.
Are you one of the guys who's tearing the people into the mud? Were you taking the people into the mud?
New Jacks, they gotta come in.
I noticed some people got dragged into the mud. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What's that all about? Someone walks by and they drag them into the mud?
We're just trying to make everybody like us.
Hey man, look at my back. I got mud all over my back. This is Mudville. Let me tell you something. These people aren't just jumping in the mud. They're doing mud jump rope. They're doing mud jump in the air, mud volleyball, man. Only mud. 1994 Woodstock. John Sensio here, man, reporting. Check it out.
Mudville. Now, could you see the people moshing in front of you?
That's my band. We never get
Okay.
to talk.
People moshing in front of us? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
This is a microphone.
That
You're
was
talking to.
yeah. More or less, yeah. It was pretty nice.
Now, could you also see people being pulled out? Because I actually...
Up over the top?
Yeah.
Surfing?
Well, surfing, and also I got a chance to see people, the first aid tent is right next door to the MTV stage.
Were there a lot of people getting hurt?
Yeah, did you see any of that?
No, I didn't see people getting hurt. I did see Jerry Meltzer get hit with a microphone on the head.
I beamed our security guy right in the head with a microphone, which I didn't mean to do.
No, look.
Dude, good pimple.
Thanks.
Pimple squishing on MTV. Could you see yourselves coming back 25 years from now and doing Woodstock?
I'll be dead. These guys will be car salesmen.
Why are you going to be dead?
It's bleeding. Look.
I have the same problem.
I will not be. If I am, someone shoot me on stage because I don't want to be a part of a relic sort of situation.
Oh well, I would throw myself.
Nothing
in front
against
of anyone.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash, who I love,
Right.
but it's not for me. You know, it's crash and burn lifestyle. You know.
All right, well, we're going to go to a video now. 9 Inch Nails, Head Like a Hole.
Thanks, dude.
Bow down before the one.
What's happening over here? You got your own little town.
a movie. I'm trying to be the cutie. So fast, I never feel you about the back door, back door. I'm trying to get about a season. I don't mind. Come on up and see me. Stand down, baby, won't you leave me like you do? But that's keep it out to do that. Well, I thank you very much. Let's see what it sounds like. 450,000 people. Help me count off this next song. Well, everybody scream at the top of your lungs. 1, 2, 3. Do it! Come on, Mr. Kramer, jump on board. One more time.
And it was so amazing. It was such a fulfilling experience for me. And since I stayed up so late last night and covered
raving hell all night long.
I sort of slept late today, so I kind of slacked on seeing the band.
But tomorrow, now Aerosmith is still to go. It's late, but Aerosmith is still playing.
Question.
Answer.
What in the hell is Shannon Hoon doing wearing a dress, eye makeup, and
That's
barrettes?
a whole nother story that we'll have to bring up at some other time, but not tonight.
Man.
It's all the rave. All the kids are doing it these days, you know.
Okay, I believe you.
But anyways, if you want to see Aerosmith, tune in tomorrow at 11:30 as MTV starts its coverage for the third day of the Weekend Rock. Weekend Rock is going to start off the third day at Woodstock.
Live from
Or is it the
Woodstock,
fourth day of Woodstock,
Socrates,
or-
New York. We've been here for
We need
two
a
and a half
medal.
years.
We need a medal after these days. Well, right now, turn in for actually these guys. It's their
Yeah,
role model.
Beavis and Butthead.
These guys look up to Beavis and Butthead because they're smarter than those guys right there.
Here we go.
Beavis
Check
and
it
Butthead.
out.
We'll see you tomorrow. Good
Thanks
night.
for joining us.
That's right, Chris. This morning, those campers braving the rain and mud behind me were awoken by Country Joe McDonald reprising his famous four-letter fish cheer from Woodstock 69. And aside from yesterday's big rain and the ensuing mud fest, there are also the parking and car congestion problems that on Friday led local authorities to order that ticket sales be stopped and to close 3 exits on the New York State Thruway, a definite, if somewhat muted, echo of Woodstock 69, which produced a 20-mile-long traffic jam outside of its site that led to the complete shutdown of the New York State Thruway.
And with all that in mind, why don't we look back at some of what made Woodstock 69 such a historic event to so many people.
Saw from the original festival is from the great Woodstock documentary film on which Martin Scorsese worked as an editor. Warner Home Video has just released a special extended director's cut of the movie with previously unseen footage of Jimi Hendrix and others.
Okay, in fact, Scorsese on site for the whole festival and stayed up 24 hours. Speaking of Woodstock 69, some of the fashions of that bygone era have resurfaced here. And Allison Stewart is out on our platform, halfway into the North Stage audience mud pit, with more on that story. Allison?
It's true. It's kind of interesting. It's a generational thing. You have your veteran tie-dye people grooving along with your tattooed youngsters, and then there are the people who just chose to wear their birthday suits at Woodstock. All in all, this is what Woodstock 94 looked like. Morning was rain gear. It came down pretty heavy, and everybody's just basically trying to keep dry, and the weather forecast is calling for rain off and on all afternoon. So, Tabitha, call me nuts, but I think that the rain poncho might be making a big comeback as of Woodstock.
Thanks, Allison. I already got my boots on. We'll let our sponsors do their thing right now, but when we return, Kennedy torments dog-tired concert goers in their pup tents.
And a pair of lovebirds tie the knot right here on our stage. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Weekend Walk. Wet, wild, and live from Woodstock 94.
After Aerosmith wrapped up last night's festivities sometime past 2 a.m., those concert goers were with enough energy left and headed to the South Stage for Woodstock 94's second rave stock with British techno band The Orb. The rest of the enormous crowd crashed in their tents, secure in the knowledge that Kennedy, no, not Chappaquiddick Kennedy, but our very own crazy Kennedy, would not be giving them a 5 a.m. wake-up call like she did Friday night. Take a look.
Kennedy here at Woodstock 94.
Never invites me over to a slumber party at her house.
Well, it's a good thing Kennedy didn't go unzipping tents last night, because she may well have interrupted the first night of wedded bliss for the couple we introduced you to on Friday night, Mo and Victoria, who got married yesterday afternoon before the rainstorm right here on our stage. Don't believe us? See for yourself. And when we asked Mo and Victoria what their honeymoon plans were, they shrugged and said, this, meaning Woodstock 94, is pretty much it. We wish them every happiness and perhaps your hotel room.
Yeah, I have a wild hotel room. The mirror over the bed, vibrating bed, and I didn't even request it. Who knew?
God, go figure. Terrifying.
How's your room?
Oh, it's fine. It's more, you know, it's more
At
basic.
least we're not sleeping in a tent. I'll take a vibrating bed any day compared to what most of these hardcore Woodstock 94 kids are going through.
No question. It's I actually was sleeping with Randy of the Redwoods, though, so go figure, huh?
Lucky you.
Yeah, really.
Well, that does it for this Week in Rock.
Thanks again for stopping by. We got lots more Woodstock coverage coming your way, so keep it here by all means as MTV's coverage of Woodstock 94 continues.
And one thing they're warning people is when you're leaving the parking lot to make sure you check under your car so that you don't run anybody over, because in Woodstock 69 that happened with the tractor. So be careful when you're pulling out. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Woodstock 94, man, the Allman Brothers have just taken the stage, and what you're seeing right now is how everyone's feeling. I woke up this morning, I didn't know what to expect. You know, there was a lot of rain, and more people are coming in. Some people have left, and people are just coming back, and everyone's still happy. It's a beautiful thing. And as I said, the Allman Brothers are on right now, and today we have to look forward to the Spin Doctors, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Traffic, and Porno for Pyros. In fact, right now, check out this video. Here's Pets from Porno to Pyros.
Porno for Pyros, who will be performing here later today. Right now, the Allman Brothers Band is on stage, and they actually released their debut album in 1969, the same year as the first Woodstock. They've been headlining the Horde Tour, and they will be until September, and they're very, very comfortable playing live. In fact, they recorded their latest album, Where It All Begins, live with no overdubs at all. Right when we were walking in today, as you can see, it is less crowded than it was yesterday. A lot of people were walking out, driven out by the rain, but just as many newcomers from the town and people who had just arrived were walking back onto the site. One guy who was actually leaving didn't want to carry his tent with him. It was pouring down rain, and he sold it to the guy next to him for 20 bucks. Well, John Sensio has a much higher perspective of this entire crowd because he's up on the platform. How's it going up there, John?
It's still a beautiful thing, Tabitha. No one's trying to sell me anything. They're just giving me all sorts of stuff. They're throwing stuff up here. And I was down there hanging out with people, and they just feel, they all have a personal memory of this thing. And somebody else who has a very personal memory of Woodstock is Randy and the Redwoods. Check it out.
I'm coming back to Woodstock after 25.
Just have their way with you, but when we return, we've got Bill Bellamy out in the mud, roving around with the Sunday survivors of Woodstock 94. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to MTV's coverage of Woodstock 94. I'm Chris Conley. We're backstage. A little break in the rain, so it's not so bad. It's a little muddy. It's a little hard to get around back here, but things still seem to be functioning. We've seen a bunch of people since coming back here. The guys in Green Day have arrived. The Allman Brothers are on stage, but they were walking around before. Carlos Santana and Allen Ginsberg just came through here a few moments ago. Now, the crew and the instruments for the Red Hot Chili Peppers have arrived, but the band hasn't. They're driving up in a bus. Hopefully, they'll make it in time. And Slash is here, although Paul Rodgers, with whom he was going to play, won't be showing up. So who knows who Slash will wind up playing with before it's all over. And Arrested Development have been here all day and yesterday, too, so they're having a good time as well. As is Bill Bellamy, who's hanging out in the crowd. Bill, what's going on?
Man, it's not so bad. I thought it was going to be pretty crazy, but I really met some nice people out here. They are the survivors of Woodstock 94, and I just want to introduce them to America. What's your name?
Erica. Jen.
Robbie. Now, where are you guys from?
We're from Hillsborough, the two of us.
Now, what is it like last night staying out here in the rain?
Muddy and really cold, but just bad. It was pretty bad.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, I guess I would.
What about you, Robbie?
Oh, I'll do it again in a minute.
Where did you stay, though?
I stayed up on the hill in the mud.
Oh, man, in the mud. But you know what? I noticed people smell pretty decent. It's not too funky, and I'm kind of liking it. I'm not getting in the mud, though.
Oh, God.
Hey, you guys, you stay around, because when we come back, we got a whole lot more with the people out here. I'm just going to be roving all over the place, so stay tuned. And right now, I want to show you a video. The Stones are coming at you, baby. Love is strong. A really nice young lady here sitting in her little love nest right here. It's sort of like a love seat you got sitting here. What has it been like?
It's really been interesting. I was expecting something a lot more wild. I thought people were going to get crazy, but I think the fact that there was no alcohol kept everything down. Of course, there was all kinds of other drugs, but...
What, you know, we won't mention that. What's your name? I didn't ask you your name.
Lucy Peterson.
And where are you from?
From California. Burbank.
Would you actually do this again?
I would. And I would bring my son. His name's Brian. He's cool. He's 2 years old.
Brian, your mommy made it. She's here in the mud. And right now, I want to see what you're doing, Tabitha. What's going on up there?
We're sitting up here listening to the Allman Brothers Band, and one of the groups that will be playing after the Allman Brothers Band on the North Stage is Bob Dylan. Now, basically, Bob Dylan inspired the first Woodstock event. He and the band made Woodstock, New York famous by moving up to this artist colony back in the 60s. But Bob Dylan did not play the first Woodstock. There were many, many rumors that he was going to, and many people came hoping to see a surprise Bob Dylan show, but it never occurred because he wasn't playing publicly at the time. In 1966, he had a bad motorcycle accident, sort of dropped out of the public eye. Then, by the time Woodstock had come out, he had put out Nashville Skyline, and people didn't really know what to think of Bob Dylan because it was sort of country influenced. But 6 weeks after Woodstock, he played the Isle of Wight Festival in England, and, you know, people really at Woodstock felt burned by Bob Dylan. But he is here this year, and, you know, everyone is really excited about that, and I wonder if he'll have any explanation as to why he's here. Perhaps, you know, anywhere there's an audience these days, he just wants to play. We would like to check in right now at the Tower with John Sensio.
The Tower, thank you. Tabitha, from up there, it still looks beautiful, man. It's amazing. We got the Allman Brothers up there still doing their whole thing, and before them, Arrested Development were on, and take a look at some Tennessee they did.
Come on! Take me to another place. Take me to another land. Make me forget all that hurts me. Let me understand your plan. Take me to another place. Take me to another land. Make me forget all that hurts me. Let me understand your plan.
Lord, it's obvious we got a relation. Talk to each other every night and day. Although you're superior over me, we talk to each other with a friendship. Then out of nowhere, you tell me to run out of the country and into your country. That's God's word. into Ripley, where the ghosts of childhood haunts me. Walk the roads my forefathers walked, climb the trees my forefathers hung. I those trees for all their wisdom. They tell me my ears are so go back to whence y'all came. It's family tree, it's family home. For some strange reason it had to be.
It's all about the music here, and if you want to see Woodstock in its entirety, make sure you call your local cable operator and get all the details how to get the whole special pay-per-view event. But right now, got a video for you. It's Candlebox, Far Behind.
That was Candlebox, and I'm Bill Bellamy here with some more real people here out here enjoying Woodstock 94. What's your name, man?
My name is Paul. Jason.
And both of you guys are from Atlanta, GA, right?
Yeah, that's
how did you get here?
Dude, we drove up small car. It took a long time.
How many hours did it take you about?
16, 17.
Oh, man. How are you guys so clean, man?
This is the last pair of clothes I have, man.
Is this it?
This is it, man.
When are you guys going back home?
Dude, we're going to cruise Monday, Tuesday, something like that.
You're going to hang out and enjoy the whole thing?
We're not going to get out of here anytime soon, I'm sure, man.
So, my question is this. Who did you come to see?
Dude, Green Day. Yesterday's show was pretty cool. The pits were cool. Cypress was cool.
And who you here to see?
The Allman Brothers, man. They're kicking.
The Allman Brothers?
Yeah.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to at home?
Not really. Hey, everybody.
What about you?
Hey, yeah, Jess and Tom, dude, peace out, bros.
Yo, Chris, see, I got some real cool people out here, man. You should come out. What's going on with you?
Bill, I'm hanging back here in the interview area with CeCe Peniston, who wished she was talking to you.
Okay.
Bill's a happening guy. If you're going to get a wake-up call, get it from this woman. 200,000 people got to hear CeCe Peniston and the Sisters of Glory wake them up this morning. How was it out there?
Oh, it was great. The crowd was really good. They really started getting into it, especially by like the third number. So it was really exciting.
Now, why did you want to be here? You were just saying before, you had a show last night in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You haven't slept in 24 hours. Why did you want to be here so much?
I mean, it's a real historical event. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a part of Woodstock? You know what I'm saying? That's the main reason I wanted to be here. Another reason was, you know, because we were doing the gospel thing, and it was kind of different from everything else that was going on around. So we wanted to give a little positive message.
And these people, obviously not guys you normally see in church maybe, but they're really pumped up by what you were doing out there.
I would say so, but that's good, though.
More muddy guys in pews. That's what we need. Well, in fact, there was a lot of mud all the way around. Let's check out exactly what this whole Quest for Fire thing looked like. Let's check out the mud people in the mosh pit.
Hey, John Sensu here. We're at the mud mosh pit. It's a little different than the regular mosh pit. People are covered with mud. You can't tell if they're wearing clothes or what. What's your name?
Jessica.
Jessica, did you mean to get this muddy?
No, they threw me in.
They can't take that away from us, man. Mud mushing. I'm still finding parts of my body where there's mud on. And don't forget, it's all about the music still. And if you want to see this thing in its entirety, make sure you call your local cable operator to get the pay-per-view thing. But I got a video for you from a band that's performing today. Here's Green Day with Basket Case.
On stage and now in person with the men of Green Day. Welcome, gentlemen. How's it been? Whoop, there you go. When'd you guys get here?
Moments ago.
Moments ago. Almost arrested.
You almost arrested? How come?
Because they're trying to get in. They're only letting press. They said press is the only people that are allowed backstage now.
Well, it's much more important for press to come than for actual bands like you guys.
Of course, I know. So we just said we're from Rolling Stone. They believed us.
I mean, without MTV, who would we be?
Got me. Now, you guys charged up about this? You're playing the South Stage. You're not playing the main stage. Is that a problem? You're looking forward to getting out in front of the audience here?
I don't think it's a problem. You know.
What made you want to come in the first place?
That's a funny question.
I thought so, too.
My girlfriend.
Paid a lot of money.
We're in it for the money.
We want the cash.
That's always a good. That's a
the guts and the glory, you know. It's for the nostalgia, you know. When I was at the last one, you know, I was actually born at Woodstock.
Now, your stepmother, was it your stepmother who was here at the last one?
My stepmother was here at the last one.
Grandma got friend over pie.
That's something I think she'd rather put behind her. She's got to relive it. She's probably having flashbacks as we speak.
It's a frightening thing. We'll try to move on from all these flashbacks. Tabitha, take it away.
That's right.
Thanks, Chris. I'm glad Green Day made it, but I'm glad they allow press people in here too, obviously. They've been letting them all in. This is a headline from the Daily News. Woodstock 94 has made basically the cover of probably every major newspaper. It's Mudville, USA. We actually caught one guy, it seems, sneaking into Woodstock 94 through the fence right here. And I'm sure the promoters would appreciate it very much if you sent your $135 to them, because so many other people have gotten in free who haven't been caught. But right now, we're going to check out some of the events that ended up in the paper today from last night. One of the highlights in terms of performance was definitely 9 Inch Nails, and they're going to perform Down in It for us. Check it out. Woodstock 94. It ain't pretty, but it's fun. We've got lots more coming up, lots more music for you to listen to, and lots more mud fun at the Mud Fest at Mud City, USA, here at Woodstock 94. Stay tuned.
The net.
All right, welcome back to the Interview 10 here at Woodstock 94. Chris Connolly here with Green Day, slated to go on the South Stage in about an hour's time, I guess. You gonna do anything special, given that it's Woodstock, given you've got a really big audience out there? Anything different?
We'll probably end up saying fuck.
Ooh, well, that wouldn't be too cool, now would it? I don't think they'll like that a whole lot very much.
Now, good wait.
Well, we already actually had the Fish Cheer. Country Joe actually already led the Fish Cheer, so you wouldn't even be novel in that at this point.
Well, I don't know. The whole Woodstock experience isn't very novel anyway, so.
Now, you'll go ahead. Your manager actually played the first Woodstock, didn't he? With Sha-Na Na? Did he tell you anything about what the experience was like? Anything to prepare you for this?
I don't know. We're just really would like to be the next Sha-Na Na.
Play your cards right. You never know. It might happen. Green Day coming to the South Stage before too much longer. Let's go to John on the platform. John, what's happening?
Hey, you know, Chris, I'm starting to see that whole free love thing happen again. That's one of those elements to this whole Woodstock. People will come up to you and they'll kiss you and they'll hug you. People you don't know, they're happy to be alive, and there's this whole love thing happening. It's crazy that they're drawing on their bodies, and in fact, people are getting married here. And take a look at this. We had some people who got married.
Something, man. But I'm having fun here at Woodstock 94. I met the coolest guys, man. They're from Plattsburgh, New York, right?
Yes.
And what's your name?
Mike. Jeff.
Steve.
Dan. Paul.
Now, somebody here has to tell you the story how you guys decided to come here. I'm going to choose you. Go ahead.
It all started, Bill, about 30 hours ago when we woke up, and we all went through the day watching MTV. Looked like a pretty cool place to be. We got out of work at about 3:30 in the morning, decided to come to Woodstock, and got about 10 miles away and had to walk the rest of the way in.
Well, I heard that somebody told me you forgot the keys.
Oh, we might have a little trouble getting back. We sort of left the keys in the back of the car, so it's going to be a little longer on the way back than it was on the way here, but
it's worth it, right?
It's definitely worth it.
All right, who you want to give a shout out to back at home?
Oh, we got to say hello to Craig, our buddy that was at work. It's too bad you're not here.
Craig, you missed it, but you guys haven't missed a great video. We're going to let you see the offspring, and we'll be back here with Woodstock 94 when we continue.
backstage at Woodstock 94. Behind me, you see a gaggle of media interviewing, who do we have back there? That's Allen Ginsberg. I think Country Joe McDonald was back there before, and members of Arrested Development hanging out. Some of the guys from Green Day just hanging out, waiting to go on stage. Still things going pretty well. The tents seem to hold up back here under the rain, unlike some of the tents outside. So everybody stayed high and dry, and the information is still flowing on a regular basis. We'll be back with a lot more here from Woodstock 94 as MTV's coverage continues. Keep it here.